field was a Coors Field-in tonight in Colorado. Michael Conforto, player of the game. Justin Robleski, the Dodgers' new surprise breakout player of the year. Shohei Ohtani goes deep. The Dodgers hold on to win. All that more coming up next on the Dodgers Nation postgame show.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Tommy Tank strikes again, and the Dodgers lead 3-0. Gibby! Meet Freddy! Tommy sets on the air, the other way, back it goes! Gone! One-of-a-kind player! One-of-a-kind season!
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Thanks for rocking with us after the Dodgers get the dub. They beat the Colorado Rockies by a final score of 9-7. They improve to 49-31 on the year, currently in first place in the National League West, of 4 games on the Giants, 6 games on the Padres at the moment. But let me know down below in the comment section, what was your biggest takeaway from tonight's Dodgers win? We'll get to the Dodgers dog of the game, the MV3. But the story tonight was Michael Conforto, the player that has the lowest batting average among qualified hitters, who's had a miserable season, a minus .7 F-WAR. Just been a dreadful year for Conforto. You guys calling him Michael Fordo, calling him the con, saying that he should be sent off this roster. Well, he made a statement tonight, and that statement was, hey, get ready to speak at the very least post All-Star break. It was a big night for Conforto. He bought himself some extra time. There was a key adjustment that we'll talk about. You saw his leg kick. That's giving him some more timing. He's able to get into his setup, get into his swing earlier, and he pulled the ball tonight. That's been one of the big issues for him this season, is not pulling the ball. We'll get into that in a little bit. But what a night for Conforto. This Dodgers team scored a ton of runs tonight. They scored 9 runs. They had 14 hits. You had 2 costly errors by Tolia for the Rockies that they were able to capitalize on there in that 6-run 4th inning. But it looked like it was going to be another rough night for Conforto in this one, because defensively, a play earlier in the game that he wasn't able to make, and it was a play that he should make, and it gets underneath him. He's unable to make that play, but he makes up for it with his offense in this one. Conforto, he steps up to the plate in the 3rd inning. He doubles to right. Dodgers couldn't capitalize on that. But later in the 4th inning, after it was really a miserable nightmare inning there for Tolia, Freddy Freeman was safe at first after a fielding error by Tolia. Smith singled to center. Then Muncy singled to right. The Dodgers loaded the bases for Teoscar Hernandez, who grounded out to second, but they were able to score on Freddy Freeman crossing home plate to make it a 2-1 game. And then next batter, Andy Pazzi, grounded into a fielder's choice. And another bad play there by the Rockies, not getting the out, and Will Smith.
Will going on contact right there, and really a tough play for Tolia. You're trying to rush it. What you're doing there is, it's early in the game.
So how about Smitty get over the tag right there and making the play, and the Dodgers tie it up at 2, and then steps up to the plate. Michael Conforto, 1-1 count. He sees a breaking ball down and in, and he crushes it to right, 420 feet for his 5th big fly of the season, and that put the Dodgers on top 5-2.
Paez takes off for a second. This ball's in the air. This ball is crushed. Michael Conforto gives the Dodgers the lead.
So great job, Michael Conforto, man. It's been a rough year, been a nightmare year, but you got to feel good about the night he had. He is the Dodgers dog of the game. He's the player of the game tonight. You got to love what you're seeing from him in tonight's game. And yes, it's one game, and I know I'm going to see that a squirrel finds a nut, or you're going to say it's because it's Coors Field. What I'm going to say is there was a key adjustment that was made, and that adjustment was a leg kick, and that allows him more time to get into his swing, to make a good swing decision. And the other big difference there was that he pulled the baseball. That has been an issue for Michael Conforto all season long, is that he's hitting too many balls the other way. And if you look at the advanced data on the year, it would tell you that he is one of the unluckiest players in the league when you look at his expected WOBA, when you look at his WOBA, and most of his fly balls this season have been hit the opposite field. And in those instances, the expected numbers don't like that. They're a 192 WOBA. And when he pulls it, it was 427. So he's going to start pulling more baseballs, and hopefully you see the offensive numbers go up, and he has something to build on. And look, I always say this. I mean, when it comes to players that are having slumps, and you hate to see Freddy Freeman go 0 for 5 tonight, but sometimes Coors Field can get you out of a slump. It's your vitamin C, right? Your vitamin C, your Coors Field. Vitamin Coors Field. Going into Coors Field, having a big night, getting that rhythm back, getting some confidence. And he's been through a lot this season. He knows he's fighting for his job. He knows he's fighting for his roster spot, and he's going to do everything he can to try to keep it. But here was Conforto after the game talking about his big night at Coors.
Yourself a multi-hit game. You add that to a hit yesterday. Does it feel like things are starting to click for you offensively?
Yeah, I mean, I've been feeling a lot better recently. I made some changes, kind of opened me up a little bit, added a little bit of a leg kick, and just put a lot of work in. And, I think the ball's coming off a little hotter, and, I'm just taking better at bats. So that's been the name of the game, and I'm just glad to do something to help us win.
So what does it say to you then when you add the leg kick? The results are showing. You get the 3-run homer today.
I mean, those are good signs for sure. I've really just, dying to see the ball hit the grass, and to pull a ball in the air with something behind it today was big for me. So that's definitely a good thing, and hopefully a lot more of that to come.
Did you have to make any adjustments just to Marquez, considering that curveball you got from him was the first hit on the curveball today?
Yeah, I mean, he's been throwing it a lot. I've been getting pounded with fastballs by a lot of pitchers, but in that situation, runners in scoring position, with one out, I think, I just had a feeling it was coming, and just tried to stay on it and put a good swing on it.
Games here can always be interesting. Anything can happen at Coors Field. How this game ended, though, for Tanner Scott to get that 4-out save, the defense, how would you describe it?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. Great defense. Tanner coming in, shutting it down. I mean, out here you have to score as much as you can, because it's a big field. There's a lot of hits out there, and it always seems to get crazy at some point.
Well, with the results today, hopefully, and keep building on them. Congratulations, Michael.
Thank you very much.
So Michael Conforto making adjustments. You also see a little more of an open stance, which allow him to get to some of these pitches on the inner half. He has not had a lot of success against fastballs this year. He's able to crush that curveball. So I'm rooting for Michael Conforto. I know some of you guys are ready to drive to the airport and you're done with him, but I just think that it's not like a Syndergaard situation or a Jason Hayward situation. I still think there are some hits in that bat. I truly do believe that. And look, we've been prisoner of the moment all season long, whether it be Andy Pages early, Max Muncy early. Let's maybe hope that he's one of these late bloomers, because that's what he's been throughout his career. So great to see some success for Michael Conforto. Am I all the way buying into him blowing up and going crazy and, hey, sign the Michael Conforto extension? No, I'm not, but I am willing to give him some more time to see if he can get going. Because what if he has 2 hot weeks? What if it's, okay, a 2-week span where he's consistent, he's hitting the ball hard, he's seeing the results? I mean, that's a professional 20 home run bat. I mean, think about that. As much as we love Ha-Seong Kim, is he going to have a 20 home run bat? And this team, they put a premium on slugging. What I always say, if you want the dub, you got to slug. So at the very least, I'm willing to wait and see, because if you jump the gun on Max Muncy or you jump the gun on Andy Pages, you would have missed out on 2 players that are hitting at an all-star level. So you got to be patient. Not all guys are going to pop at the beginning of the season, and it has been an extended slump. Make no mistake about it. Right now, let's be honest, let's call it what it is. It would be a bust of a signing if it ended today. but there is still some time, not a ton of time, but there is some time to allow him to evaluate that. So let's see how, one, this swing adjustments play for the next 2 weeks. Leg kick, open stance, pulling more baseballs, swing decisions. And then let's go from there. And hopefully the defense just gets a little better. I mean, there's some plays that he misses that he should make. But let me know down below in the comment section, what are your thoughts on Michael Conforto? Are you buying what you saw from him tonight? If it was the same exact stance, I would just chalk it up to it's Coors Field. But it's not. It's a different stance. He has made an adjustment. Let's see how it plays. Max Muncy made an adjustment, put on some glasses. Andy Pages just got a rhythm because he was a young player. Things change throughout the course of a season. But welcome to Dodgers Dugout Live and the Dodgers Nation post-game show presented by dodgersnation.com, the number one Dodgers post-game show on YouTube. And speaking of Andy Pages, we are going to give away an Andy Pages t-shirt tonight. And I'm looking for the comment of the show. And I want everyone to go and vote for Andy Pages, who is definitely deserving of an all-star spot. And it's a fire t-shirt. Check out the new Andy Pages shirt. I would say it's some of our best work here at Dodgers Nation. It's some of Noel's best work. Producer of the show does an incredible job on social media, producing the show. Very talented individual. He designed this t-shirt, and I think that it's great because I think it's funny, right? The big dog. Makes me think of Manny Machado crying. Makes me think of that Padres team. And look, being around that clubhouse, they call him the big dog. And here, check out this t-shirt. Go to gearup.la for the Andy Pages Big Dog shirt. Going to give out one t-shirt tonight, one Andy Pages t-shirt tonight for one lucky winner who gives the comment of the show. I'm going to give it away later in the show. Let's read some comments. Let's see if I got any contenders early on. We've got Nando in the chat. What is up? We got Jose Aguirre. Nando390 says, D-Mac selling that Conforto stock again like Bernie Madoff. Bruh. Conforto scoring is unfair. We've got Court the Crusader. I'm confident Conforto is turning his season around. Craig Osterberg. What's up, D-Mac? What up, Craig? Jeremy Buckley. Michael needs to work on his postgame enthusiasm for sure. His postgame was like he needed a nap. It wasn't as bad as Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who looked like he was going to go to sleep on Good Morning America's Dodgers Z Showtime fans. Don't be fooled. It's only a Rockies game at their Coors Field Stadium where the bad bat working Conforto Linsanity run will end. Oh, come on now. See, I knew I was going to see some of that. Conforto was 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Did have 2 extra base hits, so that was definitely encouraging. Stranger says, breaking news. Dodgers confirmed that with 2 hits, Conforto had Dodgers have guaranteed that he'll be in the starting lineup for the next years. That's a contender. Nando390 says Conforto has Joey Gallo vibes. Claudia in the chat. Douglas Dillard, he's made solid contact the last 2 or 3 weeks. Leave him alone. It's June. Wow, a measured level take on Michael Conforto. We've got good for him, Jeremy Buckley, the greatest showman with the Oppo Taco. Yes, we will talk about Shohei Ohtani, but the next guy I want to talk about is Justin Robleski. So Jack Dreyer, he opened things up in this one. He gave up a 1-out single to Goodman, then a couple batters later, Tolia had a double to right. That scored Goodman to make it a 1-0 game early, and as is the train of thought in Colorado, where it's like bowling with the bumpers on. It's a circus out there. It's like arena baseball. You just want to limit the damage, and that's exactly what Jack Dreyer did. He gets out of that first inning, gives up 1 run on 2 hits, but it was Justin Robleski that stood out in this one. And he comes into a situation where the Dodgers are trailing like they do pretty much all the time in games. It's pretty wild to think that this was another comeback win for the Dodgers in this one. 30th comeback win of the season. In their 22 games this month, 4 of those 22 games, they've scored first. So 4 of those 22 games, they've scored first. So 18 games this month, you've been trailing, and Justin Robleski comes in, and he looked dominant in this one. And that's what really impressed me. is when you're in Coors Field and you're a pitcher that throws a slider, that throws a curveball, throws a changeup, that goes with a pitch mix that relies on breaking stuff, then you have to start to get worried. But if you got a fastball, if you got a heater that you can trust, well, then that's going to play. And Justin Robleski, he certainly has a heater that you can trust. And his fastball, one of my big takeaways last couple of weeks is Justin Robleski has one of the most live and electric flat fastballs in the organization right now. And the velocity was up on it, 1.3 miles per hour. It topped out at 99.5 on the heater. He averaged 96.6. Again, you saw him use that sinker, the cutter, the slider, changeup, curveball. Throws a lot of pitches, a 6-pitch arsenal, but it was that four-seam fastball that was most impressive tonight. He ends up the night getting 7 punch-outs in this one, and you can see the confidence building with him. I spoke to him last week, and he told me that, hey, he's seen what Jack Dreyer has done. He's seen what Ben Kasparius has done. He sees his peers that he's come up with come up to this level and have success and be effective, and that's given him confidence to go out there and think that he can find a role for this team. And he gave them 5 innings in this one. And that's what you want from him. 5 innings, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 runs. Wasn't a perfect game, but his ability to get big strikeouts in big spots makes it really, really impressive. And he can work his way around stuff. He gave up a single to McMahon there in the second, then boom, strikes out Doyle, 4-seam fastball, heart of the plate. Strikes out Farmer, 4-seam fastball. Struck out Ritter, got him looking at a cutter. So he struck out the side after McMahon singled, and he stole second. So he's doing a really, really nice job working his way around stuff. 3rd inning, he gave up that single to Beck, then Tolia doubled to left, and we know that was the play that Michael Conforto could not make. Estrada, he drew the walk, and then boom, gets out of the inning with the curveball, strikes out McMahon looking. So he was using that fastball to set up the cutter, to set up the curveball, and he's not this, I am a bullpen type of pitcher that have 2 pitches and that's about it. No, he's got a very interesting pitch mix. The strikeout stuff is there. 97 up in the zone, getting Doyle in this one. Then bottom of the 5th inning, I mean, he was really good too. Kind of ran out of gas a little bit there, but was able to work his way out of it. So big takeaway in this one is if there's a trust tree this season, Robleski is on it. He's someone that you can count on to give you multiple innings, to go in there and execute and be effective. And he's not some player that, he's just a guy that they're bringing up because they don't want to use arms and take starts away and things like that. And you don't want to have to use guys that you're going to use in the postseason. No, Robleski's a guy that comes up and is additive. He's a weapon. I think that he has passed Landon Knack in this organization, I think, from what we've seen. I think you could possibly say that. I mean, Bobby Miller and things like that. I mean, those are guys that were ahead of him. I think he's leapfrogging them. So I was really impressed with Justin Robleski. You can see the confidence growing, and this is someone that has confidence because he has ability. It's one thing to have blind confidence. I'm just going to believe in myself. I'm great. But you throw 90 and you get rocked. No, this guy has confidence because he's got stuff. And he showed that tonight at Coors Field. And here is him just a few seconds ago from the Dodgers clubhouse in Colorado.
Felt like I commanded the zone pretty well. Got in the zone early. But yeah, I'd just say eating those innings for the guys was probably the best.
Anything strange about pitching here?
Other than being a little bit more tired from the jog in, I'd say probably not. But it's obviously it's tough. But at the end of the day, everyone's got to pitch here, so it's just part of it, and you can't really let it affect how you throw.
Seeing more just swing and miss today, just what does that kind of say to you as to where the stuff is at?
Yeah, I think the stuff's in a good spot. Obviously, Will called a great game back there. Did a good job just kind of mixing it up and making sure we were throwing the right pitches at the right times. And obviously it's great to see swing and miss, but for me, it's great to see that I've been, I was ahead of a lot of hitters today. Got ahead early. Would have liked some of those at bats to not last as long. Hurt myself that one inning with the walk and whatever. Just threw a couple extra pitches, so I couldn't get through 6, but getting through 5 was great, and yeah, it's obviously encouraging.
How do you find just kind of managing that, just when not as efficient, but still getting some really positive results?
Yeah, it's great. I think you always want to go as deep as you can, but in the role I was in today, that's a great result. But I think for the most part for me, it's just about continuing to focus on the process that brings those results and just letting them come as they do.
The numbers are showing just out of relief, so much stronger than starting. But to be fair, also, you did go back down to the minors, work through a few things mechanically. Have you seen a difference in that for yourself personally, though? Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, again, said this a couple times where it's I don't think it's necessarily being a starter or being a reliever. I just think, unfortunately I had that bad outing in Washington, and then, I had a really good outing in St. Louis. I'm one, flare away from getting through that inning, 6 innings, 2 runs. So I think the results are just part of that process and trying to get ahead in counts and continuing to iron out these mechanics and
So Justin Robleski did his thing, 14 swings and misses. Like you point out, he was getting ahead in counts, 17 of 22 on first pitch strikes. He gets the win. Some more comments down below. Abby Day, 499. No better day for Conforto to retire, going out on top. Come on. Come on, man. You serious? That's a contender. That's a contender for the Andy Paz shirt. But that's come on. Let me give you it. That's rough right there. We've got Victor Contreras. Mookie's skills are declining, won't complete his contract. Can Freeman's better ever be fixed? So, yeah, let's talk about some Freddy Freeman in this one. Another rough night for Freddy at the plate. He was able to get on there in that 4th inning after the Tolia error, but Freddy ends up going 0 for 5. The batting average is down to, 315. But no, let's be honest. 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts, and he just did not look good at the plate once again. The Dodgers actually go 3 for 17 with runners in scoring position, but they did make him count. You got a big home run from Conforto. You got a home run from Shohei Ohtani later in this one, and you were able to capitalize on that. But, yeah, Freddy Freeman is really mired in a slump right now, and you can see it wearing on him. You can see it impacting him just because he's a guy that is a perfectionist, and he's a guy that does not handle failure emotionally that way. I don't think this is I'm doing so bad, I think it's going to have a lasting impact. No, when he struggles, though, he is he sulks a little bit. He really gets down on himself. He talks about how bad he is, and it's definitely, it works for him, and his process is his process. And like I've been saying, when you are as good as Freddy Freeman, you have a standard that high, and you play a lot, you don't get injured, throughout the course of a 162-game season, you are going to go through your slumps, and you got to find a way to get out of this slump. And because of his track record, because of everything he's done for this team, no one's going to give him the Michael Conforto treatment or the Max Muncy treatment or the Andy Paz treatment or anything like that. I'm not saying they should, but it is an example that even the best hitters, even the best hitter on this team when it comes to just being a pure hitter and arguably one of the best hitters of his generation, even guys like that go through extended slumps. And just to give you an idea of how it's been for Freddy Freeman, last 11 games for Freddy Freeman, he's 7 for his last 46, hitting 152. Actually, last 12 games, 7 for his last 46, hitting 152. And in that stretch, 0 doubles, 0 triples, 0 home runs. And then you look at the last 7 days. You zoom in a little bit. Last 7, 2 for his last 20, hitting 100. You look at his last 30 days, and it's a little better, but still not Freddy Freeman. Last 26 games, he's 25 for 100, hitting 250 with a 638 OPS, 7 doubles, no home runs. So it's an extended slump. He knows it. You know it. The body language doesn't look good. He's never going to blame it on his health, But I do think that it's only logical for the health to be some of an explanation. And yes, he's 35. He's aging, and at some point the decline is inevitable, but he's just not looking like that lower half is connected and everything's in sync. You're not seeing him use the big part of the field. You're not seeing him keep that ball. What makes Freddie Freeman a special hitter is he's short to everything, and he allows that ball to travel deep in the zone. So that allows him to cover both sides of the plate. Right now, he's kind of chopping at the top of it, and you're not seeing that coverage from him. And is that because the lower half isn't as connected? It's possible. So I think for Freddie, does this require a day off, a couple days off? Is he playing through the ankle? I don't think I asked him this personally. I literally face-to-face, hey, Freddie, is your ankle impacting your hitting? He said, no. I was like, is it impacting your routine? He said, no. So he's going to deny it, and players are going to want to make you feel like they're 100% healthy, and that's totally understandable. But I think this is a long slump. And I just talking to people that covered him for the Braves. I mean, every now and then this does happen. It does. This happens, okay? The best players, they go through slumps. But you hate to see it, man. You hate to see it. And look, here's a good thing. The good thing about this is, like I told you, that in this June series of games where they've fallen behind early, 18 of their 22 games they've trailed, a lot of it has to do with the fact that the MV3 has not produced consistently game in and game out. And Freddie Freeman is a big part of that. So that's a concern. And just because he's the guy who he is, I mean, at this point, I like the fact that there's other guys in this lineup that can carry right now. I mean, this game had a lot of production up and down this line. You look at the Dodgers box score in this one, 8 different Dodgers recorded a hit tonight, and 6 different Dodgers had multiple hits. Mookie had multiple hits, goes 2 for 5, had an RBI, was able to get a double. Will Smith goes 2 for 5. Muncy goes 2 for 5. Teo goes 2 for 5 and provided a big insurance run late in this one. Andy Paz goes 2 for 5. Conforto 2 for 5. Edman got a hit. So 14 hits and 44 at-bats, that's good enough to absorb and cover Freddie Freeman and allow him to work his way through this slump. So, yeah, you hate to see it. And the good thing about it is there's not one person that's more frustrated and more miserable and thinking about this more than one Freddie Freeman. He's going to do every single thing in his power to get himself out of this slump, because this isn't a guy that sees the end of his career anytime soon. He told Bill Plunkett of the Southern California News Group a couple months ago that he intends to play after his contract runs out. He's still going to play 2+ more years with the Dodgers after this season. And then I think he's going to sign on for a couple more years and try to get up to 39-40 and try to get to 3,000 hits. And if he plays 5 more seasons, gets about 150 hits per season, he can get to 3,000. So point is, he's not going to pack it in and call it a career anytime soon. So he's going to get out of this slump and find a way to be productive. And it's just one of those stretches for Freddie that when it clicks, he'll find a hit cue, and he'll start rolling at some point. But right now, it's not pretty. I gave you the numbers, and that's just what they are. And at some point, you got to believe that someone like Freddie Freeman is going to be able to get out of it. But on the pro side, on the positive side, Mookie Betts was able to get some things going at the plate. And Mookie, heading into this one, just 6% above league average offensively this season. We've talked a lot about this on this show. It's good to see Mookie Betts do something tonight. And after Mike Conforto's 3-run home run there in the 6th inning, Mookie Betts was able to get that double after Tommy Edman was able to reach on another error by Tolia in that nightmare 4th inning where everything just gets through the wickets underneath him. And Mookie Betts, he doubled him home to make a 6-2 game. And then Mookie, he singled to right in the 6th. So good night for Mookie Betts. And I think the positives with Betts in this one was they were the classic Betts hits, right? I mean, it was a double down the left field line, right in left field. And then also it was better contact. I mean, even when he lined down the third, it was 105.7 miles per hour off the bat. And the double was 97.8 miles per hour off the bat. So you saw harder contact in this one from Mookie Betts, and that's definitely a positive sign in the right direction. Because, look, one thing that keeps me up at night about this Dodgers team, one thing that I think about when I'm at red lights and when I wake up at 3:30 in the morning in a cold sweat is when will Freddie and Mookie start to fall out of their prime? Because when they do, that is going to be a sign that, hey, you got to be urgent and you got to want to squeeze as many championships as those guys as you can. And when you do try to squeeze those championships out of them, well, it's going to be better because you are not thinking, oh, these guys are going to be that good for that long. No, you have to kind of recognize that. And I don't think it's happening, but just think about this. Both Freddie and both Mookie, Freddie had a really great start. He was really in the MVP conversation earlier. He has slowed down to the fact that he's still deserving of being an all-star, but both of those guys offensively are having extended slumps heading into we're approaching the All-Star break pretty soon. But good to see Mookie have some success tonight, and I hope he builds on that. And here was Mookie just moments ago from the Dodgers clubhouse.
Frustration, which is offensively this year, kind of the ups and downs and not having been able to put it together yet.
It's been really tough, but kind of is what it is, you know. Never play short every day, and so, but I don't think that's really playing a part. And, you know, being sick and just kind of playing catch up. There's a lot of variables that go into it, but you know, you got to figure it out.
What do you think is like sort of? I know it's hard to really pinpoint one reason, but like, what do you think is that's maybe like common thread you've been able to find the first 2 months?
I promise you, I wouldn't keep doing it. I've been doing it for so long. I'm trying to figure it out, man. I'm genuinely trying to figure it out each and every day. But like I said, we had a good day today, and we'll see about tomorrow.
How can you build on days like today? Is there anything you can...
We've had a couple of good games and then a week worth of bad games, and so I'm trying to figure it out. I'm doing my best trying to figure it out. Got to just make sure I continue to play defense and do what I can to help the boys win.
So there's Mookie Betts, goes 2 for 5 in this one, gets the RBI. And after tonight, Mookie Betts is looking to raise those numbers on the season. And look, we've talked about a lot. He has had a down year, but now the numbers, he's at a 257 batting average, 107 weighted runs created plus. So it's going to take him a good while to work his way out of this season-long slump. But it was good to see him have a 2-hit game in this one. Let's read some more comments here. Looking for that comment of the show. Who's getting the Andy Pajes T-shirt? Go to gearup.la. Best Dodgers merch in the game. Moreno 818. What's going on with Mookie? Jose Villanueva. His stuff is nastier than the gas station bathroom. There we go. We got an everyday listener. We got a fan of the show. Appreciate you there. Jen Griffey Jr. Yo, D-Mac, my Padres Bay keeps reminding me about how they beat us 11-1. Send a Dodgers Bay my way, please. Thanks in advance. Jen Griffey Jr. trying to win that Pajes shirt. That's a contender. I'll have to send you a Dodgers Bay your way. Let me give you a nice little comment of the show right there. I like that.
You win. Perfect.
Meta Rules 5, Dodgers not even at 75% at their potential and have more injuries than most teams and still in first place. Absolutely. That's the Mitch Lonahan full way to look at that. And I think it's a great way to look at it because not only are they getting it healthier, the schedule gets easier too. Joe Dirt, I crashed saying that about Robleski. First, I love Joe Dirt. It's one of the great modern comedies ever. Love me some Joe Dirt. Yo, D-Mag, get him a hot torta. He'll be back in no time from Jonathan. Alex Renteria, no way we give Freddie that Conforto treatment. He'll figure it out all the faith. Absolutely. I'm not saying that. Trust me. I love Freddie Freeman. Absolutely love the dude. A.M. Sanchez, I love how you guys are using the Statue of Liberty emoji just to talk about Freddie Freeman. You got Freddie slumping and still leading all-star votes. Hashtag Hasta La Visa, the number 5. Carlos Gonzalez, I'll be at the game on Thursday. Let's go Dodgers. Kershaw Day, baby. 8 strikeouts away from 3K. Hope I get to witness it and a team win. Turbo Durant, I can't forget about my LA Lakers. Okay. We've got Mooks is feeling the effects of playing shortstop. You want him playing good defense at short or good batting. Take your pick. DHO. So I've said it a million times on this show. I asked Mookie Betts if playing shortstop. Impacted his offense. And he really vehemently denied it. And it's tough to say because it's tough to say if it is actually impacting him and if that really is taking its toll. Because, look, I mean, going to the games, he takes a lot of time. He takes a lot of time preparing for that and just making sure that he's ready and to go, and he's making sure that he's got all the drills. He loves it. He works on. He's got this real special glove that he uses, and he is always taking pointers from Miguel Rojas and everyone involved. But he flat out does not think that it's impacted his offense. And the only way I think you could say that it's impacted his offense is he spending more time getting ready to play shortstop defensively, and is that taking away any time to anything he's doing at the plate in preparation for his hitting? From what I'm told, that's not the case. But here was me asking Mookie this question, and you guys, you could tell he was a little like, hey man, like you could tell like that he was kind of thinking about this and wondering if there is any impact. But here's what Mookie had to say when I asked him about this, and I want to get your feedback down below.
And Mookie, there's just kind of a narrative out there that maybe you playing shortstop impacts you at the plate. Clearly, you had a big day today. Does that impact you in a way, just as far as your preparation goes?
No, I mean, last year I think I was about to win MVP, so yeah. You can't really argue about that. And I was doing way more work last year than now. So no, that's not the case. I mean, you can try and point out and blame it whatever you want to do, but there's no excuses. It's just a matter of me getting it done. Thanks.
So you heard the man right there. He said that it's not the shortstop play, and then what he pointed to was he said he was going to win MVP, and yes, he was hitting like an MVP, and he was also working more at shortstop defensively and was still able to put up those numbers. So I think it's a little more about, hey, is father time leading to the bat speed slowing down a little bit? You're not seeing as much hard contact with Mookie Betts, but hey, let's hope that he builds on something tonight. But let me know down below, what are your thoughts on that? And then we're going to hear from Dave Roberts here, and then we're going to look for some comments of the show. D-Mac, of course, he's going to deny it, and he did stutter thinking about it. From Alex Renteria. Claudia 11, he did not like that. I mean, hey, he spit on that ADG. D-Mac, we've seen that. Moreno 818, stranger, what's the difference between Conforto and a stepchild? The stepchild gets hits. Come on now. Victor Banos, $20. D-Mac, any news about Emmet Sheehan back with the team? There's no news as far as he's going down and they're going to call him up and he's going to make his next start in a minute. But right now, Justin Robleski, he proved to be the right move today, because the last thing you want to do is send Emmet Sheehan, a guy who's made just one start back, and throw him into the fire at Coors Field. So he's still building up, and that's the plan for him. It's just a little bit more of a build-up, and they're going to get him back. We got to, I don't know, his confidence is taking a hit with all those bungled plays at shortstop. Can you put your hand up to the camera for a Lamar edit from Max Craddy? Bilal K, if you love Conforto, that's fine. Send him a picture of you with roses from Bilal K. That's a contender. Who should we go get after the deadline? We'll talk about it tomorrow on Dodgers Dugout Live. Body language was closed. No, J Kid 323 Mookie looked like. Hey, I've actually gotten pretty cool with Mookie, which is pretty cool. You know, he's a fun guy to talk to in the clubhouse, and he totally gets it, to be honest with you. Like, he knows that my job is to not be the guy that goes in there and asks the 50 softball questions. Try to make them count, you know. So yeah, but Mookie's amazing. He's a great guy. Does a lot for the community, and I actually think that he's going to find his way out of the slump. And I've been the one to say it on this show. What he's done is unprecedented, and that is a guy that is 32 years old that is transitioned to playing shortstop at an above average level. It's never been done. We just need the bat to catch up. We got Sports Hub. Mookie just needs to bowl a bit and he'll be all right. Yeah, Mookie's going to be fine. I think that tonight was a big night. And the good thing was that he was able to have some success. But okay, let's hear from Dave Roberts. Let's hear what he had to say about tonight's win, Robleski's performance, and then when we get back, we'll take some more of your comments here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show.
Well, Dave, first just with Michael Conforto, to see whether it was the hit yesterday, the 2 hits today, the home run he talked about, just kind of adding in a leg kick. How have you seen just kind of him not only just kind of evolving, but really getting things going these last 2 days?
I think he's in a much better spot. I like the swings. I like the at-bat quality. Seems like he's getting to velocity better. And so I know for him, just to be able to contribute offensively, it's got to feel good. And I think we're trending in the right direction.
With Robleski, how did you see him just kind of managing? There was the swing and miss in the game. Wasn't as efficient, but he was able to get guys out.
Justin did a really nice job. I thought early on there was a lot of swing and miss. He got, I think, 6, 7 strikeouts. And then towards the end, they started putting the ball in play. They started putting together some at-bats. It was just great for us to get him through that fifth inning for him. And I thought he continues to grow, and I think that's 4 or 5 good ones in a row, and he's given us length, and he continues to be built up. So he'll pitch on Sunday, and I just like the growth right now.
How important is it for to have a swing in that kind of an inning, especially when they're kind of booting the ball around a little bit to just capitalize and really put a crooked number there?
It was big. You don't just want to, build innings however way you can, and for it to draw dead, in that particular spot in the order, and for him to hit a big homer, get us put up that crooked number, get us a lead, feel good about that, capitalize on some mistakes on their part, was big. And that's kind of, the thought behind having him there, having Tommy in the 9 to bleed into Shohei the top, but to get production out of Michael was big tonight.
How important is this next month going to be for him as you guys just get closer to the deadline, start trying to figure out what the roster is going to look like in the second half of the year and where he could factor in?
It's critical. I think that I've shown that my faith in him and giving him opportunities, and I do, like I said, I think he's trending in the right direction, but we're going to continue to look and figure out ways we can get better as a ball club as we do get close to the deadline. But I hope that's not in his kind of mindset, just continue to get better each night. But it's important for him to continue to play well.
Why is Robleski pitched better in this role than he did as a starter?
That's a great question. Probably a better question for Justin. I do feel now where he's at, I think that logging, call it 20, 25 innings, something like that, his last 25. I think that if he were to start a game, I think that having that same mindset, I think that we'll see similar results. But I do feel coming out of the pen, just kind of letting it rip from pitch one and not feeling your way into the game has helped him. And I also think that, doing that, he's also shown that he can hold his stuff, from pitch 1 to pitch, 91. And he's done a really good job. So I don't know that answer, but I feel that, right now with what he's gone through, he's better for it.
How much is the extra velocity he's been throwing with just kind of changed what he's capable of out there?
It's changed a lot. It's changed. It puts the hitters more on the defensive. It increases his margin. And I do think that it wasn't from a lack of effort. I think that his mechanics, the last time he went down, cleaned some things up, allowed his delivery to be more clean and efficient. And then you're starting to see the 7s and 8s, whereas when we had him the first time, it was more 4s and 5s. So now I think the delivery is kind of cleaned up. And, everything else is playing off of that. And he's getting the swing and miss that he wasn't getting earlier with us.
Is there something to, keeping him in this role following an opener, even though he, has the length to potentially start games?
Yeah. There is. I think that with us, he's given us the flexibility, same as Kasperius, in the sense of if we want to start him, great. Feel like he can take down 90 to 100 pitches, and if we want to kind of have somebody in front of him, they can come in and it's not new to him. So I feel that I don't know what's next as far as on Sunday, but I know we expect some length out of him.
This is a stadium which anything truly can happen. How did you see just the bullpen kind of handle the back half of this game?
I think that there were some things that I liked, some things that I didn't like. You got to give credit to those guys. I thought they did a good job of fighting and spoiling pitches, putting balls in play, taking advantage of some walks, some misfires. You don't want to go through however many pitchers we went through and have your closer do an up-down, but a win's a win, certainly in this ballpark. Kind of pick up the pieces, and we got Yamamoto going and expecting a good one out of him. It's been a while since he's really, been Yamamoto-like. And so, but I feel good we'll take the win.
So the Dodgers get the win. He mentioned the bullpen late in that one. It wasn't a great night for Anthony Bonda. Goes 2/3 of an inning, gave up 3 runs on 2 hits, also gave up a walk. But give Tanner Scott some love tonight. Tanner Scott came in after Anthony Bonda gave up a couple of doubles. He gave up a walk, and then Tanner Scott did give that double to Beck that made a 1-run game. But then he comes out there in the bottom of the ninth after Teoscar Hernandez's double gave the Dodgers a much-needed insurance run to make it a 9-7 game. He got Estrada to ground out, then McMahon reached on a bunt single, but then he got Doa to ground into a game-ending double play. Okay, before we get out of this one, give me your MV3, your 3 most important players from this game. I'm going Justin Robleski, Michael Conforto, and I'm going Teoscar Hernandez. I know Shohei Ohtani hit the home run, his National League leading home run. So we know that Shohei can win that a lot, but I think I'm going Teoscar Hernandez. I'm going Teoscar Hernandez in this one. Yeah, it was great to see Shohei get home run 27, but I'm going Teoscar Hernandez for that big insurance run late when the Dodgers were up just by 1 run. So I'm going Teo. I'm going Robo. I'm going Conforto. Bars. Okay, let me know down below. Let's pick a comment of the show so I can give you guys your Andy Pages t-shirt. Go to gearup.la to pick up this new Andy Pages t-shirt. Super fire, straight gas, straight flames, as the kids say. What do they even say? I don't even know. But let's get your comments down below. And to give me your MV3, got a super chat here, $5 from Adhum. Says, at the end of the day, this is baseball, and every team is going to struggle. But one thing we can't deny is the pedigree this team has built of October. Love that take. ZJ, Mookie hit first, Edmund or Paz second, Ohtani third, Freeman throw out some lineup theories. Moreno, just don't put Kim in center field. Alex Renteria, Verlander, 0-5 with a 4.52 ERA. Jay Bullitt, imagine where we'd be if this pitching staff was healthy. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think this team would be in the mix for best record of all time. I really do. I mean, how could you say anything else? How could you say anything else? The fact that this is a Dodgers team that is missing Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Rogi Sasaki, and you just got Shohei Ohtani back. And still, even with all of that, you're right up there with the Detroit Tigers with the best record in baseball, and they have the best record in the National League. So I truly do believe that they would be in that mix if they were completely healthy. But we've got some more Doc Eagles transparency. Not Eduardo Delgado, he's tired. We got Richard Eagle, I love L.A. from 90023. I like that. We got Bonda's too busy making Chevy commercials from Claudia 11. Michael Contorta from William Kai. We've got Johnny Owen in the chat. We got Sanchez only because they're playing in Denver. Teo Robo. This is your MV3s. Teo Robo in Muncie. Yeah, it was another big game for Muncie in this one. Herman Huerta, the ultimate cheat code, is not just Shohei. It's a two-way player. It's the offensive lineup being deep. Everyone could be clutch anytime, anywhere. Let's run it back to back. Love that take. Bilal K, exactly. Please no HSK. Dodgers still keep winning in this one. I love that. All right, guys. So tomorrow we've got Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound. The Dodgers ace takes the bump at Coors Field. 6-6, the 2.76 ERA, 84 2/3 innings, 95 punch-outs this season. Let's go with looking for that comment of the show here. Paz is my favorite player. I just won the prize from JKid23. David says, when's Gradwell coming back? Watch today's episode from Dodgers Dugout Live. The flagship show is the afternoon show. Dodgers Dugout Live. This is the post-game show, so go check that out. There we go. Alex Renteria. Alex with the ballerina moves. The ultimate cheek. D-Mac, I'll be there Thursday. He'll be off soon. Claudia says, I support Mookie getting some ringworm cream. All right, let's give it to Claudia. Give the Andy Pajes shirt. Congratulations. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout, Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you haven't yet, do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button for your Los Angeles Dodgers. And remember that nothing, absolutely nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
And when the upcoming winter gives way to spring, rest assured, once again, it will be time for Dodger baseball.